pretty awesome. And just some of the things that have happened for me professionally and with my students has been amazing. One of the blogs that you really want to look at is this one called Kindergarten Life. It's different from the others. I use WordPress. For those of you who don't know, WordPress.com. It's a little bit more professional with some other, it's a little bit different than Blogger. Blogger is really easy, step by step, which I love. But the other thing about WordPress is this blog I use just to reflect on my own growth professionally. And it does have a technology focus. So again, if you're looking for, oh, how does she teach KidBlog in kindergarten? Or how does she teach her kids to tweet? Like, where does that start? This is a great blog. You can go in and search, and there's tons and tons of posts and things that I've written. So Romay, come on over here. And Noah, why don't you stop, and will you tell everyone about that photograph right there? Yeah.
Well,
here, can I turn you around? Yeah, no, let's go ahead. Tell them about that photograph.
Me and Rachel are holding some pictures up there.
Yeah, and what is that sign that you're holding? What does that mean?
The reading one.
This one, the reading one. And what does that mean when we see that?
It means connection.
We're making connections. And what kind of a connection was Rachel making? You and Rachel?
A text connection.
A text to world, yeah, text to text and a text to world connection. It was really cool. They were noticing a lot of maps in a lot of the books, and this was when we first started learning about the continents, and we learned a continent song. I mean, I have to tell you, in kindergarten, I was like, really, I'm teaching the continents, but they needed to kind of have an idea about where they were and what they were. I mean, that was it, just, basic geography, but again, just letting them know where in the world they are, where are other people, and these other people are genuinely interested in what you're doing. And Romay, do you want to tell them about that map? Where is that map up here?
That's all the continents.
And can you turn around and tell everyone, and where can they find that map? Where will they see that map?
On our kid.
On our KidBlog and on our class blog. Yeah. And I have to tell you the story for this. So I accidentally deleted this from the blog, and the next day, and the kids were like, Mrs. D, where's the map? I'm like, oh my gosh, I deleted the map. So I put the map back on, and then by the end of the day when we checked it again, we noticed that all of the continents immediately, there was at least one triangle on all the continents except Antarctica by the end of the day. So we, again, this whole idea of perspective and audience, we were like, wow, what does that say? So we have to make sure everything that we put up here is kind, safe, and responsible. I know more about Google than I know about Google. I'm still, every time I learn something, I go in and they've changed it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Because it drives me crazy. Every time I feel like, oh yeah, I get that, I understand how to use it, and then it's different. So Google Hangout, there's been a couple little changes in the last week, so I gotta get my glasses on, make sure I'm doing this. So anyway, to give you a quick background, I've invited 3 parents. One is Adam Deo, who is a former parent of mine. His son is now in 1st grade, and he's actually here today, and we're going to invite Adam. And then also, I have 2 other parents of students that I presently have. And so we're going to try calling them, and hopefully this will work. Sounds a little loud, doesn't it? Hey!
Hey!
How are you, Willow?
Well, how are you?
Hey, listen, I'm good. So I know Adam and Ellie will be joining us too shortly. Ellie probably right at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
So I have to, before I let Willow speak, I have to tell you this quick story. So I was telling them how Google changes all the time. So I was trying to set this up with Willow ahead of time, and her computer was older, so it wasn't working. So she's using an iPad. Adam, I think, is going to be using a Chromebook, and Ellie is using her iPhone. So just so you know, I mean, this Google Hangout is so versatile because you can just get an app, and once you do the plug-in, then you can have conversations anytime. So it's really great. Hey, so Willow, thank you again. Would you mind just talking with a little bit about your experience in terms of using Skype and Twitter with the class, and how that's helped you as a parent maybe stay connected?
Sure. It's helped me and also my extended family as well. I've Skyped with the class and tweeted with the class, and that was new to me this year. So that's been really exciting to follow the kids on Twitter, talk with them, get responses during the day. And then my kids come home from school and are real excited to talk to me about how they got to tweet with me and talk to me live during the day. It also helps me know what they're doing in school, where a lot of times when my kids come home and I ask what they did, by the time they get off the bus, they're done, they've forgotten. And it's a great way for me to know and stay connected and have real questions to ask and conversations to start with them at home. Also, my mother-in-law traveled to Spain and then also to California, and she was able to Skype with the kids in the classroom from Spain and have conversations with them, and then also from California. And, you know, that was really special for her to be connected to her grandchildren and be able to have that experience, and also for the kids to have that experience with their grandmother all the way in Spain and be able to talk with her live. And then she came into the classroom a couple months later and got to meet them in person and make more connections with the kids. And I think that's really special for both my kids and also for their grandmother.
Thank you so much, Willow. Hey, Adam.
Hello.
Hey, thanks for being here.
Sure, thanks. I had to find a stairwell.
Oh, all right, it's all good. It's all good. So, Adam, I didn't know if you would feel comfortable in just sharing from a parent's perspective again, the use of social media and other technologies in terms of how it's been helpful for you as a parent in being connected with your child's day, and if you feel like it's worthwhile or not.
I definitely do, thanks. Hopefully the signal's still good here. I'm actually up the hill from you all at the conference as well. My wife and I were, nervous parents of a transitioning kindergartner, and we're fortunate enough to be in Sharon's class, and it was really through social media, particularly Twitter and Sharon's blogs, that we were able to stay connected to the classroom and really feel like the relationship we had with the school was deepened as a result. And we were concerned initially that there would be challenges in terms of knowing what was going on in school, but we always felt informed, or at least had something that we could start a conversation with our son about from all of the various ways that Sharon connected with families. And one of the other significant memories I have is of using, I think it was either Skype or Google Hangouts, one of the two, to show my office, the computer lab that I work in, and to
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Wait, hang on.
I can.
Okay, good. All right, we're back on.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all right. It's just good. I think this is really good for people to see this, because this is what happens. It happens all the time. I think to have, those expectations that you're going to use these tools and things like this will never happen, they happen all the time. And I think, if anything, as a teacher, I've learned to be okay with that, because again, I'm modeling that along with my students and parents. We're problem solving, collaborating, working together to think about how can we get it to go. Awesome. Okay, Adam, go.
Where did I cut off? Sorry.
You had just finished talking about how the blogging had helped and being connected with Twitter. That's when we stopped.
I guess I was saying also that we had a Skype session where the kids in the class were able to see my office, and they were able to ask me questions about what I was doing. And then it was really through that I felt like the kids and I knew each other better in that classroom. So I would,
Oh no.
So in this picture, Romay is identifying, what kind of words, Romay, are you identifying in that photograph? Remember? They were sight words. So one day we were just randomly looking at our feed that's on all day, and we tweet throughout the class, throughout the day. We always have it on, and my message to the kids is, I'm always like, I wonder what's happening in the world today. Let's go check and see what's going on. So we noticed a couple of classrooms, one in New York and Chicago, that we've connected with. We're doing a lot of writing. And again, this was nothing that I planned, but one of the photos came up and they were like, Mrs. D, look, they're doing sight words too. I go, how do you know? So immediately, they're able to come up, and again, I'm very fortunate, I have a smart board. They're able to come up and identify those words. We're having conversations, and then when I'm asking them, what do we want to say in response to them? So then I'm the one that's typing the tweet, we tweet it, whoever came up with it then gets a little bird. So again, this is another, something very simple, something very easy that you can do in the context of whatever you're doing in your classroom. And again, the kids understand, oh my gosh, this is meaningful, and we could read their writing because they had spaces in between their words, they used capital letters. So again, all of those kinds of little, teaching points that we're doing with our kids anyway, it's another authentic way for you to recognize them and highlight them. And then when your students are making those connections on their own, it's really awesome. I mean, they become very passionate about it and very interested and very motivated as writers. And then, Romay, what's going on in that picture at the very end? What are you doing there?
I'm with Google Hangout or Skype, I forget.
With Google Hangout or Skype? Yeah, that's all right.
I was talking with.
Can you turn around and talk to
I
everybody?
was talking
Thank
with
you.
a mom.
Who called us? That was the very first day of kindergarten. So we were practicing right away. How do we answer Skype? What do we say? And what does everybody else do in the classroom? And again, when you're beginning to use, I find at least with young children, when we're starting to use these tools, it's really nice to start with familiar faces. It's really nice. Because then they're like, oh yeah, they're parents. They're totally like, oh yeah, no problem, let's try that again, I mean. No, but it's great, and I think you need to have that flexibility, and I think as teachers, you will, once you start using these tools, you'll experience that messiness, but it's through that messiness, that disequilibrium that we have anyway, when we're really learning and really thinking deeply about things that we're doing, that things become really meaningful, and that's where you discover other opportunities. So the other thing I wanted to talk about really quickly, so Noah, before we give out the little paper birds, tell everybody, what is this?
A bird like the other birds.
Yeah, and it was a little bird that I got for $1 at Target. Next year, if I find some, I'm going to get a bunch more. But the other thing that we used at the very beginning of school, because again, I'm modeling this, when children are tweeting, I'm giving them something very explicit. This is a bird. What does a bird do? And they're like, tweet, Mrs. D. I'm like, yeah. So every time we tweet, so whoever the leader was at the beginning of school, if they had a tweet, they would go first, and when they were done, then they would give the bird to someone else who had something else to tweet. So again, we've kind of, now we're just using these little paper icons. But again, this was something, again, as a kindergarten teacher, I just want to try to make things as hands-on as I can for kids. Because the more experiential it is, the more that they're going to identify that. And again, a bird. People know what a bird is. Birds make sounds, they tweet. So this is how we tweet when we're having conversations. All right. And then just really quickly, this is something, I've done a lot of professional writing as well lately, and my big thing is all about learning. I'm very passionate as a learner myself, but I really feel that the technology that is available for us right now as educators